Hey everybody, welcome back to the original Awesome Blossom family. I am so happy you all were able to join me again this week. Today I have with me two very good friends of mine, Siddharth and Avi. Siddharth is joining us from America, Avi is joining us from India. So without much further ado, let's get started. Hey guys, please introduce yourself.
Yeah. Hi, Niharika. I am Avi Kanchan, and right now I'm working with TCS as a business analyst, and that's it.
And where did you study your undergraduate degree?
I did my undergraduate from Krishna Institute of Engineering and Technology. That comes under AKTU, that's APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University. And after that, I've been working, and it's been 2 years since I've been working.
And what was your focus? Like, what is it, general engineering or?
No, I did my Bachelor's of Technology in Computer Science.
Thank you,
Yep.
Siddharth.
Hi Niharika, hi everyone. I'm Siddharth Gurbani. So I'm from Nagpur, Maharashtra. Currently, I'm doing my master's here in UW Madison in electrical and computer engineering. I did my bachelor's. I graduated from a bachelor's in 2017 from Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur. Between those 2 years, I was working in Bangalore in Synopsys. It's an EDA company, part of my electronics domain. But now I've shifted to computer science over here in my master's.
Thank you, guys. So, moving on, I wanted to ask you that Siddharth, in your case, you worked and then came to America. Avi, you're still working in India. So, what sort of prompted those decisions? Siddharth, why did you want to come to America? Did you have some research, or what was your background information that sort of made you take this decision? And Avi, for you, what is the next step from here? Are you where you're working? Are you going to stick, or do you aspire to come abroad as well? And if you do, then why? Avi, you can start.
Okay, right now, according to the current scenarios, I do not want to prefer US just because of the scenario that's been happening due to the COVID and the visa issues. So right now, I plan to stick to my job, but switch my company so that I can grow up and groom myself as well.
Yes, there are so many opportunities even for admissions. So you can apply to a lot of universities and they follow a generic trend. So it was easier for me to apply there. And I did not have any stereotypes regarding US and Europe. I mean, it was like I'll just apply one place and if I get somewhere there, I'll apply. So I applied in a few universities in US. I got them and I just don't even think much about US, Europe, honestly.
Got it. Thank you. Yes, that was really good to hear both of completely different perspectives. And I assume a lot of people will be in, both of your situations, so they'll be able to, navigate their situation as well based on what you just said. So moving on, my next question is, can you guys tell me a little bit about the curriculum at your universities, like Krishna Institute of Technology and then Indian Institute of Technology? Like, how was the assignment style? Was it more group and like team oriented, or was it more individualistic? Then, could friends do things together? Like, for instance, in America, plagiarism is a huge thing. A lot of us have to do our assignments by ourselves, and I suffered a lot because of that, because I actually found no help, and then I had to figure everything out by myself. So just a little bit about your college courses, and if you had the freedom to choose, and then how was the curriculum set up by the university so you could perform to your highest potential.
Yeah, for the curriculum, basically we had no choice. Like there was a particular set of subjects that was decided by a college that computer science students are going to go through these subjects, which were pre-decided. So comparatively to US, we don't have that choice that we can decide what credits we have wanna take. So there was a fixed set of subjects that we had to take. And about the assignments, yeah, all the friends can sit together and do it. Like one can do it, then all of them can copy it. This is how it works for graduation, and it makes us easy.
I was crying over here because it's if you've I've read articles in which it says India mein the schooling is very difficult, and then when once college starts it becomes easy. Like once you get in you can do it. And in America schooling is easy but undergraduation is very difficult because they push you a lot. So for someone who studied in India and came here for undergrad, it's only tough and tough back to back. So that relaxation time I never got, which you got. So little
Yeah.
jealous there, but okay. And Siddharth, how was your experience at IIT?
Actually, it was almost like what Adi just mentioned. I mean, there honestly isn't much of a difference when it comes to how the curriculum is set up. Like we have a fixed set of courses. Only until my fourth year, I think I had a flexibility to choose a couple of courses, because that then pertains to what your specialization goes into. And about the assignments, yeah, exactly. If one of them has it, the others can do it. So I mean, I had a couple of professors who were stressing out too much on plagiarism, but unlike US, they don't really have good plagiarism checkers like appointed officially by the university system. So either they do it manually, they as a TA, or they might have one or two which are not really that specific, so they can't really catch. I mean, because I know a course where I was asked not to do, I still did it, and nothing happened. So it's more of the ask you, and I think that is also because they don't really give you the freedom. Like we have discussion sessions, right, in every of our class, and we discuss all of the assignments, and then we go and do it ourselves. Here we don't have that system. You go to a class, attend the lecture, you go home, you do your assignment. That's it. So like a lot of the people don't get much of the lecture because that's also very mainstream, and that's like the difference. So there, even though the education is good, it's just the system that goes a little up and down, and then we don't try to get as much. Yeah.
When you were talking about the discussion sections, you meant like in the US, right? We have discussion sections after
Yeah,
lectures
yeah,
we
yeah.
discuss how to do things. And also like in I had so much problem with many of my CS classes, and I could always like reach out to my professors, and they were always there to help. I could ask the TAs and they would help. Of course they won't give you the answer, but they like help you get there
Yeah.
and sort of like grade you on your effort if you really show up and sort of say that you're very you want to make it work. So that was
Yeah,
one thing.
y- here there are few professors who like try to, like some young professors who have seen the culture outside and they believe that some leniency must be there, but like there are very few, and you don't really get a lot of those, especially in uh, third year, fourth year courses wherein senior professors are mostly taking the courses. So that's the issue over there.
Very understandable. So, okay, moving on, my question is, how would you, like, how were the teaching styles at your universities, like at KITE and then at IIT? Was it more like research oriented? Was it more like, how we had it in our board exams, ki ye aap kar lo to, that's fine? Or was it more like a lot of lab work and a lot of application based exercises?
Basically, it depends on subject to subject. There were some subjects which were like, this is the stuff, this is the theoretical stuff, you just have to go through it and then you are done, you can crack the exam. And there were some subjects which do require some coding stuff, which require the lab work as well. And about the research work, for that you have to be very keenly interested and you have to go along with the professor. You have to just go after him and tell him that you're interested. So this is what students do if you are seriously interested in research work. But according to bachelor's is considered, students are really not interested with the research thing. This happens mainly in the masters or the MTech thing.
Siddharth, do you want to talk about your experience in
Uh, so about the curriculum, I think the curriculum base is quite good. What we study, the one difference, like the major difference that I observe while studying here in US and back in India, is that it's not updated quite often. Like we still study 10, 20 years old literature. Like that is necessary, that is the base, but like it's still based on most of that. Like books that were published in 90s are still being referred as the main reference textbook. So that is one thing, and there aren't like too much. Most of the like weightage of marks is centered around the final exam and like the midterm exams. So, like 50% final exam, 30% midterm exam, 10% assignment, 10% attendance. So like in the end, the final two papers that you give, your half midterm and your end term, is like what decides your grade. It's not like you crack all your assignments. Your assignments can just save you from passing essentially if you do bad in your papers. So and it's like almost similar for most of the courses that I went through. But I think computer science and EC would differ a lot over here because we don't have coding stuff. We have theoretical stuff mostly. So our approaches over here are similar. I mean, in most of the subjects. So that's how it goes. There are some lab experiments, but they are like traditional experiments that have been that everyone is doing for like the past 10, 15 years. So we mostly know what they're going to ask. We have different what they're going to ask. At least in lab, we know what we need to do. It does not change a lot. So it's like very traditional over there, almost in all subjects.
Thanks, guys. Like how in the US, Siddharth, you might know, like a lot of our professors are actually researchers, and then teaching they sort of do with it on the side. So whatever they
Yeah.
are researching is very actively brought to the class, you know. And so there's a lot of, like you said, people are very updated because like knowledge is created almost on the daily. It depends on, if you want to get it. So is it like that in your undergrad in India at KITE and at IIT? I can share from my experience when I was doing my undergrad here. It was like math was very research based. I took a lot of classics classes and my professor was a writer, so she would come and tell me, "Oh, I came across this manuscript from Rome and we found this," and like just all research in all directions and not just science but almost every field. So that was very interesting. And then, secondly, like you said, Siddharth, that the curriculum in India is very good. I sort of want to speak in support of that. When I came here the first year, I would just not understand a lot of material. I would not understand the teaching style, exam style, and I was also not very proactive in trying to figure it out. So I took my time, and in that time, whatever I had done in my class 9, 10, 11, 12, and PCM, that helped so much because a lot of initial work is still the same when you get to college. And so yeah, like our studies in India definitely make us very resilient, and like they teach us how to like stand our ground, and then we can learn other things and start running based on them. So just wanted to share that. Moving on, I want to ask you guys, what about internships? Like over here, there's a heavy focus on internships. I've done 3 internships, and if you are not doing an internship, it's sort of like, how is that possible? Like it's very obvious. So, how was the internship scene in your undergrad at KITE and then at IIT? Was it a must, or did you do it with your professors, or did you seek them out? And can you talk about that?
Yeah, internship is also a must for our college as well. Like after your completion of your third year, you have to do one internship, and for the final year, you have to make a, a big project. Like it can be an application, it can be that you can write a research paper, but these two things are really mandatory. They carry a lot of weightage for your final result for the fourth year. So yeah, I went through an internship. I looked it up from LinkedIn and pulled up my resources and some connections, and then I did my internship with a company under in cybersecurity. So this is how I got through it.
God. Also, like over here, there's one difference in the undergrad that a lot of people start doing internships right after their freshman year. Not because it's required by the college, but like for your own self. And not just in, like, I did a lot of small campus jobs in many different fields. It was not related to CS, but it just sort of showed me if I will be interested in another stream, or just like, human skills and dealing with people, all sorts of things. So, the more industry exposure, like the sooner you get it, the better, I believe. So, Siddharth, do you want to share about internship experience at IIT?
Yeah, so like the mandatory thing is, I think, common what Avi mentioned. There is a compulsory internship after the third year, and you have to do a project presentation on your fourth year. So that is what you have to do at least. Now you can choose to do it from wherever you want it, and the consent is you can either do it from the university itself, you can do it outside, like you can do it with a professor, but it has to be mostly I mean, if it's preferred, it should be in the same domain as you are, but like the trend has gone that people mostly go into non-technical internships, and then that is accepted nowadays. very commonly. So there is no constraint as such what internship you're doing. And one other thing is that IITs have an upper hand over here that a lot of the companies do come in for internships also, like at the very beginning, like in August, like you enter your third year in July, and by the end of the second year, you are pushed by your seniors. Like your seniors help you a lot. Here, the professors don't come into any picture. Like the seniors push you to build your resume, to develop your soft skills while you're in your. So a lot of the students do a internship during the end of the second year, like summers after second year, so that they just develop. I mean, they do unpaid internship in one of their regional companies or like in the university itself or anywhere else as much as they can and develop their soft skills, because the first semester of the third year, a lot of the companies come in and they take your interviews, the same standard protocol that is followed for placements, but we do get a decent enough number of companies for internships as well. That is where I think I'm not sure, but we do have a lot of companies there. So I think that's one major difference that is there.
Right. Thank you guys. Yeah, that was very interesting to know. I wonder how they make sure that you successfully completed your internship and if you did it or not, since it's so open in after your third year. But anyways, moving on, my next question is that why is it that in India a lot of people have this perception that it's either IIT or nothing? There's like this thing that a lot of people, like, from class 5 and 6, they'll start pushing you IIT, 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 like quota, for instance, is such a huge deal. Even if that's like, I didn't even know what you do in engineering, but all my teachers, you have to do IIT, you have to. You don't do IIT. IIT is a college. You do engineering, you go to IIT for that. A lot of people don't even know that. You ask them, what do you want to do? I want to do IIT. And it's just sort of, why is the focus not on curriculum and sort of finding out what you're good at and studying about that and creating something? And why is it so much on, I want to go to IIT because I'll get this much ka package? Can Do you guys have thoughts about it? Has it changed in the past 4 5 years?
Uh, there's nothing like that. If you don't go to IIT, it's over for you. It's up to your caliber, what you can do. Like people from non-IIT colleges have also bagged very good package, which are comparable to the. But yeah, IIT always have a upper hand. Like if Microsoft comes to IIT, it won't come to my college to get me placed. So obviously, IITs have a upper hand because if I'm getting a package of X, then IITians are also gonna get a package of 1.5x. This is like the brand difference. It's just like Apple and Android. That's the thing.
Brand difference, okay. What about the, like you said, it depends on your caliber and what you make out of it. So looking back, do you think, like, fine, the package might be more, but professionally, once you're in the same sphere and it's five people, two are from IIT, three are not from IIT, are you looked at differently in your workplace? Are your assignments based on if you went to IIT or not? Or can you still climb the ladder just as much as someone who went to an IIT?
No, you can still climb the ladder just as someone went to IIT. It's just at initial level when people, it just matters for a day or two when you join a new corporation, like you're from IIT and you're not from IIT, that you are just, the IITians are just looked up that they are from IIT, that's a brand, that's it. And nothing that there's a work difference, the same work is given, the same assignments are given, you have to complete in the same time, everything is same. There's nothing more different than that.
This There is no really need for the brand value concept that has been introduced for IT. I mean, yeah, people should ideally consider it as a good engineering college, but it shouldn't be termed as a brand, because I honestly don't feel any difference. Like when I left, like when I graduated, I joined Synopsys and I had like a couple of them were from IIT and most of my friends were from IIT, and I actually saw that there is no technical knowledge difference between me and the other person, and it's just the experience of a different college. There is no really difference in two individuals, like by the amount they would work, and that's what I personally felt. And the good thing about my company was it did not differentiate in terms of salary, and this is like the biggest thing that actually affects parents to force them into going into IT is because exactly what you mentioned. I've seen a difference of like if you get 20 lakh, the same company would offer 10 lakh on a non-IT campus, and for the same role, for the same exact same role. And this actually does not make sense. It's debatable. A lot of people would argue, but I personally feel that either do 15-15 to both, or do 10-10 to both, or do 20-20 to both. But I don't really see the difference there. It's just how the experience of IITs happen to be like there are more people who graduate from IITs and are doing some well-established things, and then they fund a lot of the IITs. They kind of, and once they do it, more other companies tend to pursue those IITs as their targets for uh, like employees and all. So that is what actually makes the biggest difference in terms of the course, the curriculum. There might be difference in professors because IITs have a strict policy of only PhD professors. So that is there. But someone who has done a PhD and is a professor in another college, I'm not sure there would be like a huge technical difference between the two. Like both would be doing very good, great work in their research field. So the only difference comes when it comes to job offers and the packages of the companies offer, and that's what's creating this vicious cycle probably.
Okay. Very, very rightly said. And I feel like once you start working, then after like 3 to 4 months, everyone is sort of on the same level, and then where you take
Yeah.
it is up to you at the end of the day. Um, okay. Siddharth, this question is specifically for you. Does it matter outside of India if you've done your undergraduation from an IIT when you're looking for jobs or internships or research? Do people here know IIT? Do they know the significance that we hold with the school? Does it make a difference?
So basically, when I was in India, I this was told to me that okay, if you're from IIT, it makes a good impact because even outside India, people might be knowing. But honestly, like I have been applying, I've been giving interviews, and I did not really see that as a concern for any of the recruiters, or like it never came into limelight. No one ever asked me like how was the experience in IT, or like what did you do in IT. They were just like, what did you do in college, what were your projects in college. And I don't think it made any difference whatsoever. So that was just what was told to me before coming here, but I never experienced any sort of.
you know so a lot of people abroad, like you said, they ask you what you've done. So people should focus on the projects, making your own projects, showing your work, showcasing your creativity in those projects. I think that will take someone farther. So my next question is, we spoke about salaries a little bit, that salaries differ, but what is sort of this whole analysis of someone like Avi, you went to Kite, and then now the package, and then Siddharth, you did your undergrad from IIT. What was the package then? I don't want to know about like after masters, because that obviously changes a lot of things. I just finished my undergrad, and average in the US the package is about $65,000. That's like the national average after your undergrad, be it whatever major. If you've gone to MIT or something, it might be like more for different majors. But of course, in any of the engineering, it's straight up like 25 to 30K more. Which, since I am pursuing real estate, mine is a little less of a beginner package, but I'll be a big businesswoman, so I'll make up for it. So, what do you guys have to share about like the? Do you have numbers to share? Like people want to know numbers. What? You can give examples of other people जो इन्होंने भी undergraduate इस engineering में किया या उसमें किया, and what were their packages after Kite and then after IIT.
Totally depends upon company to company, which company is offering how much package, uh, and basically the minimum average, and it also depends on college to college as well. Like the average package for a college differs, like the college having a very good rank and another college having a mediocre rank, the average package would differ in great aspects. Like for my college, the average package would go around 5 lakhs per annum. But if there was another college, then their package would be like 3 lakhs per annum. For that would be the average package. And students would get some students would get a very good package as well, but there would be only a few of them. But I guess there's a difference for the IITs as well.
Siddharth, do you want to share about?
Yeah, so basically, one of the things that matter here is from which department you are. Like, there is a, I mean, if you're talking about in general average package, people talk about average package for a particular department. Like, if I was in CS, the average package would be like 1 or 2 lakhs higher than EC, whose would be higher than chemical and civil, and so on. And but our average package also go around 8 to 10, like computer science going on the upper side, electronics on the lower side, 8.59. That's how it goes. And still, yeah, most of the people here do go into non-technical offers. Like, so it's not very constrained. So that, I mean, average package is not a very good measure to actually look at the university, because like there are some companies who come and straight away offer 40 45 lakhs, but they'll say you have to come to Japan. So one of them would go and the package would go. If two go, then the average package would go very high. But there might be someone who does not want to go to Japan, so he would settle for a 20 lakh job maybe in India itself. I'm talking about CS because most of the companies come strictly CS and they offer very good packages. So that's how it really matters. And what I felt is once you change, I mean, like once you join a job, even if you're at a relatively low package, in a couple of years you change a company and you can actually demand for a better package, and it could be almost like you double your package in 2 years. Whereas someone who's gone into like a better company than you at the beginning of your, at the end of your graduation, he might be earning more than you, but 2 years later he might be earning as much as you or even less. So that there's not really much of a difference there. And a lot of the companies have a good increment yearly. Like some would give 20-25%, but some would just give 4 to 5%. So mostly companies who have a high package, they don't have a very high increments. But companies who offer low in the beginning, they give enough increment that within 4 years you will match up to the other companies. And the reason is that they at least ensure that you work for 4 years, and they'll kind of say that, okay, we'll increase your increment by 5% more, just stay in the company, don't leave. So he'll be like, okay, I was earning this, now I'm earning more than that. Like, and he would say that, okay, I'm changing my company, and they are offering me this. If you can offer me that, I'll stay in the company. And that's another way that people actually get their packages improved. So it's really, I mean, anyone can actually do it once they're out of their college. College does not matter after you're done with it.
Siddharth teaching us negotiation skills.
It's very common in anyone who's doing a job currently anywhere in the world.
Right. Okay. So it's more about what you make out of yourself in the, once you start working rather than. But it is really the reality of the people there. Those 4 5 years, they take time, and then all the pressure in class 11 and 12, and then for the people who take a drop year and still don't get in, it's. Moving on, my last question is that what are your future goals? Siddharth, do you want to stay in America forever, or do you want to sort of make up for the fees you paid for the masters and leave? Avi, do you ever want to venture out, not just to America, to any other country, and even like with your work, professional work, what are some of your like goals, long term and short term, I guess? Like long term is like what is a vision you see for yourself, and then short term is like what are you guys working on to sort of fulfill that vision? Avi, you wanna start?
Short-term goal, I right now I want to switch from my present company to some another company, and I've been grooming on my skills as well for that. And as a long-term goal, yeah, I do want to explore other countries as well, work outside of the countries, and it's still gloomy that I want to go for my masters or just work in other countries. So, but I do want to explore other countries as well. So that is a long-term goal.
Okay, thank you. And what about you, Siddharth?
Yeah, so like fortunately for me, my master's is funded, so I don't really have a big loan to, have as an excuse to stay in America. But I do have plans for staying, like, I do plan to have my own startup or work in a startup. And, eventually in a few years, I do want to go back to India, like maybe 4 or 5 years, but who knows what's going to happen then. Until then, like if I consider short-term goals as 4 year plan, I I would be like work a few years in US, and before going to India, if you get a chance, work in Europe somewhere, like in a good company in Europe. And also, I've like shifted my domain here, so it's like a lot of work, and I think I need a lot of technical expertise to develop. And those 4 or 5 years is like that. I want to switch a couple of companies before going back to India to get more exposure and see what I like.
You want to have your startup in India or in the US?
No, India.
Oh, okay. Because that's what I was thinking. Like, once you go in the startup, then it's business. Then it's like, what visa do you get for that, you know? Because you need a sponsor and
Uh, I
so.
mean, it's easier doing it in India, and I mean, like you can contribute to India also in that way. And it's like for startups, India has also a lot of good opportunity. I mean, it's for startups, it does not really matter. It's the audience you target for startups. So it's that way, but that's like the long-term goal. Short-term goals was like to switch a couple of companies and gain more experience in machine learning.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for making the time. That was the list of my questions.
Yeah, thanks. And it was really nice. Like you had a good set of questions, and I think most of them were, personally driven, I think so. But
Definitely.
there were a lot of misconceptions that might have got cleared under those questions. So it was really nice.
Definitely. Hopefully, more people who are in class 11th and 12th, they can be helped because they'll know what happens after 8 years. I think jab tak we are in school in India, we are just told, abhi padhai kar lo, baad mein dekhenge. At least I was told that. So, like I didn't have any foresight. So I that was the goal.